I can't figure the European leaders out, and you've been there. And how much of what I consider, and I think many people here, of them being on the wrong side of so many issues would you attribute to them trying to promote the EU as a balance of power? How much would you promote it to this appeasement disease, and how much would you attribute it to just anti-Israel perhaps? And just wondering, since you're over there, if you can share some thoughts on that.
I think all the three factors that you mentioned are at play in Europe. We have to compete with the United States. The EU somehow feels that it's unbearable to have one single superpower. The understanding of power in Europe is one that if there is a single superpower, or if there is a concentration of power, it will ultimately lead to something bad, because look what happened in Germany, look at what happened in Japan. So there must always be some sort of balance, and they see themselves as the counterbalance. And in the day we live today, with the West being a minority and undemocratic, closed societies being the majority, I think that's the wrong way to go. I think that Western societies should unite and try and encourage democracy by all means in in other societies. Then there is the so-called guilt, and there are many Europeans, rightly or wrongly, who believe that the Muslim minorities in Europe today face the same danger as the Jews in the 1930s and in the 1940s. And I think if you ask me what is it that the American Jewish Committee can do, I think they should go out there and show them, remind them of what the situation was like for Jewish minorities in Europe in the 30s and in the 40s, and that it is radically different from a minority today that enjoys welfare, enjoys free schools, need only to shout a demand and get it, and that is not the same history as one of the more prominent Dutch writers compared Muslim immigrants in Holland after what happened to Theo van Gogh. He said they are facing the same situation as the Kristallnacht, which I don't have to tell you what that was. And so there's this shameful comparison which is going on, which is completely unfair. Then there's of course the history of colonialism, the history of slavery, the history of the Holocaust itself, and there are people who cleverly take advantage of this and who keep on pointing out in Europe. So I cannot build the biggest mosque in London. That is because you are imperialists by nature, you are racists by nature. Islam is not a race. It's a set of beliefs, like Christianity was a set of beliefs. It was criticized in that same way. But today it has become a taboo to say anything critical about Islam or about Muslim demands, because that is seen to be something either racist, or because you are colonialists, you came to our countries and you did bad things to our forefathers, we can come here and take revenge. There's a lot of irrationality going on. Then of course there's politics. In the Netherlands, the local politics, the local elections in March last year showed that even though there had been a paradigm shift in the integration equation, the assimilation equation, all the political parties in Holland started to demand from immigrants, whether they are Muslim or not, to integrate and adopt Dutch values. But when the elections were approaching, they realized that the most voters in the 4 largest cities were Muslims, and then they dropped all the demands towards Muslims. So now the large mosque that first would not have come in Rotterdam or in Amsterdam, the mosques are coming now. And the demand for more religious, for more Islamic, rather Muslim demands are increasing, and they're being accommodated because they are simply the largest group between now and say 10 years from now.